imagine. The early 1950s and 1960s, Brooklyn, New York. Candy stores galore, kids jumping rope, trips to Coney Island, and dancing in the streets. 5 Italian teenagers rushing home from school, eluding the mob, and munching on their favorite snacks, devil dogs and Yankee Doodles. At the same time, darting off to harmonize with the group before competing in a talent show at the opulent Lowe's Oriental Theater, located at 86th Street near 18th Avenue. This is where the Oberons began their career. The Oberons evolved into the Mystics.
Hello, I'm Marie, the host of Vinyl City Broadcasting, your transit express to rock and roll trivia. The montage behind me represents some graphics, a timeline, if you will, that lends themselves to our special guest I'm going to interview today. George Galfo, original founding member and Hall of Fame inductee of the Mystics. The Mystics have been one of the most iconic and influential music groups of all time. Formed in 1953, this legendary quartet has left an indelible mark on doo-wop music. With their rich harmonies, smooth vocals, and captivating stage presence, the Mystics have captured the hearts of millions of fans around the world. The Mystics celebrate this year their 65th anniversary of their mega-seller and international and national hit, Hushabye. George will tell us about that and so much more in our VCV interview with him today. So let's go into our Zoom room and start our interview.
Well, hello, George. It's so nice that you could join us on Zoom today.
Hi, Marie. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys, as always.
Oh, the pleasure is ours also. And we heard a few weeks back you had some snow in Florida.
Well, that was pretty rare, but that was up near the borderline. Yeah, they had snow. I don't think they were prepared for it. I'll tell you the truth. I don't think they have snow plows. That's for sure.
I don't think so. Well, of course,
I heard they
we're
got
all
8 inches in some areas, and that's amazing.
That's amazing. Well, we're all from the Northeast, so we're used to snow. We know snow.
Well, I was, but I got out of New York 30-something years ago.
Oh, yeah.
More, 50 years ago in New York.
Okay.
I got out when I was 31. That's
Oh, and look at that nice tan you have, too.
Nice hair.
Yeah, well, the first thing I did was get rid of my snow shovel.
I'm jealous,
right.
George.
Yes. Well, are you ready to start the interview? And
Absolutely.
okay. Well, the first question is, inquiring minds want to know, devil dogs or Yankee Doodles? And probably you had an Entenmann's on the kitchen table also.
You know, that's funny because every day we ran home from school for our treat. And the treat was either devil dog or Yankee Doodles.
Yes.
And actually, Yankee Doodles fit in the glass better with the milk on top. We used to mash it up and scoop it out with a spoon. We did, when we ran our Yankee Doodles, we did devil dogs. As far as Entenmann goes, yeah, their donuts was always great. Their powdered donuts, their chocolate donuts. We ate them too, but you know,
Oh, yeah.
we were younger, we were able to do that.
Yeah, we could do all those things, eat
Right.
donuts and all that stuff. Well, of course, Yankee Doodles has chocolate, so, you can never go wrong with chocolate.
No, and it was funny because people, our fans, always question us about Yankee Doodles. And we didn't have them down here in Florida.
Oh,
We hadn't had it since we left New York. So Joni, my wife and manager, inquired to the company and said, why don't you start sending them? Well, she asked Publix, the big places down here, if they were going to put them on their shelves. And lo and behold, They did. And now we can get it any place in Florida.
Oh.
Because of her, it happened, you know. Not that I got anything for it from the company, but
Well,
they're available now.
it can never hurt to inquire about anything, right?
No.
Worked out good. Well, George, tell us briefly about yourself and how you got started singing with the Mystics.
Well, that's quite a bit of a long story. In 1958, actually, is when they were the Overarms, okay? They were before that, 1957, and they would call themselves the Overarms. Around 58, I was asked to join the group because one of the guys bowed out, and I took his place, Tony Amato. And at that time, Philly was coming home from the Navy, my uncle. So we both actually got on the Overalls at the same time, 1958. And we started singing a lot. And, I was a little experienced. I sang with my brother's group. My brother was 3 years older than I was. And all his friends were 3 years older than I was. I was the little kid they took advantage of. And I started singing with them. And we called ourselves the Guardsmen because they were all in the Air Force National Guard. So it was appropriately, they called themselves the Guardsmen. And we did a couple of shows like that. So I was singing around that before 1958, actually 1957, 56. So when I got on the Overarms, I was doing okay. It blended in perfectly and the sound they were looking for. And that's how we started with them. But actually, when we got to sign, well, that maybe, I don't know, maybe that's down the line for the next few questions. But we had great time singing. It kept us out of trouble.
Oh.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
But trouble always follows people around sometimes without, you can never tell when trouble is going to hit you. Like my Uncle Phil found out later on in the years. So, but we had a great time singing on the corners. People always came around us in crowds, cheered us on. And the more they cheered us, the more we sang. And everything was a cappella then. We had no music.
Right.
So, we had to have a good ear.
Yes.
And the ones that couldn't have a good ear had to fall out. And it remained the five Mystics to where they were all these years.
Yes, here you are all these years later, still performing and delighting audiences, bringing joy to people. So we commend you. And how did you end up calling yourself the Mystics?
Well, we actually, when we got signed up with Laurie Records, they didn't care for the name, the Overruns. We didn't even know what it meant. But to them, it wasn't a marketing name. So they figured we have to get a different name. So we all wrote down a few names and put them in a hat and shook it up. My Uncle Jim Gribble was there. And we picked out, I think Alligator picked out the Mystics. They liked it. Lo and behold, it stayed with us all these years. So I guess it was a good thing.
It is a good thing. I love that name, the Mystics. It's a great name.
Well, it seemed to fit us. It fit us. Mystically, it fit us good.
Well, good. So, George, tell us the story behind the song Hushabye, written by Doc Pomus and Mort Schumann. And did they write it for anyone in particular?
Well, after we signed the contract, we started singing with them. We were backing up some of the people in their stable. We did a lot of background stuff and got used to the studios and the way they do things. It was helping us get ready to perform and record. And the first record we did record professionally was Adam and Eve.
Oh.
Right. So, at that time, they were 45. There's a little wreck with the hole in it.
Yes, so we have those.
I didn't know if you were that old. Okay.
Yeah.
And they needed another side. So Doc Pomus and Mort Schumann was already writing songs for them, producing. And they came up to listen to our sound. And they said, after they heard us, they said, we have a song just for you guys. We just finished writing. reading it, in fact. And believe it or not, it was Teenager in Love. And that was written for the Mystics. And after we started to rehearse it, they were amazed at the sound and the way the song was going. They said, boy, this song is going to be a hit. We know it was going to hit, and we knew it was going to be a hit too. We were so, in awe about the thing. That song was actually written for us. And they milled around for a while, and they said, guys, we have to have a meeting. Come up to the office in the morning. We got to discuss this further. So, okay, we did. And they said, Dion and Belmont was on their label, on the same label. They already had 2 hits on the charts. And they said, this song is so great. And you guys, nobody knows you yet.
Mm-hmm.
And they know Dion and the Belmonts. So I think we're going to have to maybe give it to them. How do you feel about that? I mean, you guys feel okay? So we didn't actually. But we were so humble just to be there. And Dion had a great sound with his group, the Belmonts. And we looked up to them because we used to rehearse some of their songs before we even signed a contract with Water Records and listen to the radio. So we said, yeah, no problem. So they did give it to Dion Belmont, and they did a marvelous job with it. It became a great hit.
Mm-hmm.
We were a little disappointed, as usual, for the guys, but we were low on the totem pole, so we had no choice at the time. So they said, guys, we're going to go out and write something else for you. Fine. I said, if you can beat the Teenager in Love, God bless you. And they came back, and it was with Hushabye, actually. And we liked it right away. We started rehearsing, and I said, well, don't tell Dion. We want to do this song. Yeah, and we did. And thank God it became a hit. And our first record was a hit. And it's unusually that happens that way, but it did. And we were honored that public took to it, a lullaby.
Yes.
And today everybody sings it. No matter where we go, Marie, even when we did shows in Europe, they know every word. They can't say English too well, but the words, they know every word perfectly. And it was amazing. I mean, no matter where we go, everybody loves the song, and we do appreciate that. And we're lucky we had it.
It is such a soothing song. That's what I was thinking. Like you said, like a lullaby. And once you start singing it, you can't stop. That's the way it affects me.
And I got a lot of parents that said, we used to sing it to our kids all the time.
Oh.
Loved it, and the kids loved it when they grew up.
Yeah.
And a lot of the parents, kids start coming to the show later on, and which was very fortunate. And that's how our audience maintained its size for a long time. But most of our audience that we sang for then in the 50s and 60s, they're just as old as we are. And a lot of them just don't make the shows anymore. But their children's children make the shows. We still have a lot of that coming in. And we still get good studio audience participation and everything else, which makes us feel really, really good.
Right.
When we start singing on stage and we see them holding each other and bring them back to the years of the good days. And every song has a memory to it. And so Hushabye does. We sing a lot of a couple of songs that were popular at the time, and it brings a lot of memories back to all of them. And that's why we enjoy doing what we do, just to see their expressions and how they love them songs. 50, 60 stuff was really good songs, understandable.
Yes.
Good lyrics, and enjoyable.
Well, we certainly appreciate that music, and thank you for that wonderful story, George. Now, the song "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" was used on the series The Sopranos. Did they make you an offer you couldn't refuse, or am I getting my shows mixed up?
No, it shows are right. We didn't even know they had picked our cut of that song. So many other people through the years have sang Over the Rainbow, somewhere over the rainbow. Singles, groups, many people. It's such a great song. Judy Garland did it well.
Oh, I know.
B39, you know. And it became so famous at the time. And then, well, we heard it on watching the TV of Sopranos. We were shocked because we couldn't hear it too well until toward the end. And that's our song. They're singing our cut. That's amazing. How did they get it? We don't know. So we searched it out and called up the company that manufactured the show and put it out. And they found out they didn't have the rights actually to do that without asking us, because we're supposed to get paid for entertainment fee on videos, whether they're selling them or showing them. So lo and behold, they had to pay us for it, and it was a great compensation it was valuable to us at the time. It was one of the biggest payments we got on any show. and we still don't know how they did it, how they picked it out. It's till this day we don't know.
Yes. Well, that's a great song to pick out, Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Yeah, but you know, like I said, there were so many other people that did it.
Yeah. But
Why our cut? Yeah. Well, we were like we were blessed with that, and that was great.
Yes, that's a great story, George.
Great exposure, I tell you.
Great exposure too. Yeah, and compensation. That was great.
Yeah, that helped a little bit.
Yeah,
you know, we were still doing shows and stuff, but this was something that we never expected.
Right. Things can happen sometimes that we don't expect.
Yeah,
good things can happen. And you've had so many hit songs over the years. Now, do you personally have a favorite, and what song do audiences ask you to sing the most?
You mean the ones we cut?
Yeah, your hit songs.
Well, I like all of them that we cut with Lord Records. I love Star for Us Lovers. At the time, there were songs out sympathizing with the words in that song. It went along very well, and I thought that was going to be a hit. Actually, it did hit the charts. It didn't go high as Hush and I did. And today, when we do shows, they actually don't take the stars quite a bit, which was our second release. So I do that on stage too. Besides Hushabye, Don't Take the Stars, and some of the songs we did cut, Darling I Know Now, and stuff like that. Okay. All Through the Night is another good song. Mm-hmm. It was a harmony song for four of us. And in that song we had temporary Phil wasn't with us for a while. So you guess who filled in? Paul Simon.
Oh, I wouldn't have guessed.
He's on that song with us. And we got very friendly with Paul. He was younger than us at the time, but he did a great job. He had a great voice. And if we would have known how big he would have gotten, we would have kept him on the group. Right. I guess the best thing he ever said was the best thing that ever happened to me is the Mystic fired me.
Is that what he said? The Mystic
well, he was only there temporarily because we were waiting for Phil to come back and join the group again.
Oh.
But it was a great experience with him.
Yeah.
And a song that always sticks to my head that we wrote actually was A Prayer to an Angel. It was our demo that we actually brought up to Laurie Records so they can hear what we sounded like before they met us, and they loved it. I don't know why they didn't make us record it, but it's a good song. And it came out later on in the years on one of our demos and some of the shows we did, and then people loved it. Yeah. I thought that would have been a great hit too. But Laurie had their own way of giving us the stuff that they wanted us to sing.
Of course.
It's not the stuff we wanted to sing. We wanted to sing more rhythm and blues and stuff like that. But they got their own thing with the chimes and the bells and everything else. We naturally had to go along with it. Yeah. So that's what happened with that.
Oh, okay. So one of your favorite songs is a prayer to an angel. Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? All right. Can we listen to it online
I don't know if you can bring it up on YouTube.
on YouTube? Okay.
It's an
All
Angel
right.
by the
All right.
Mystics. Yeah.
Thank you for that. So we'll look that up. Now, when you come out on stage to perform and you look out in the audience and you see the many fans that have come out to see you perform, what kind of emotions are you feeling?
Emotions. I've been trying to control that for 65 years, 66 years now. The anticipation backstage, you're always going to get the flutters.
The flutters, okay.
And I still do today.
Yeah.
Until we get out there and the first few words out of our mouths, and then it's all over. But just anticipation, getting in front of that crowd. I was always an introvert many years ago. I would never, it was great in big crowds, so speeches and singing, I was always in the background, which I love. I love background harmony.
Yeah.
That's what I do mostly. And it brought me out after the years, actually, being on stage so often. It became a normal thing. But the only thing that bothered us when we did Alan Freed show in the Brooklyn Fox, New York, 10 days, doing a big show there with
Big one, that's what I was gonna say, big show.
show. And we're backstage, and lo and behold, the Isley Brothers come out and tear up the place. I mean, they were dancing all over, in the aisles, on the chairs. They were all over the place. And we looked at each other and said, how are we going to follow this?
Yeah. See your point. I see your point.
That really shook us up. And it shook me up quite a bit.
Yeah.
But, being that Hush-a-Bye was such a great hit, when we came out, they accepted that.
Oh, yeah.
The applause was there. And I said, my goodness, I didn't think that would ever happen. And 10 days we did that like that, and it always worked out well.
Oh, that's great. Well,
But I never got rid of the flutters.
no, I wouldn't either if I was performing. I'd be like you. But that means you want to do a good job and, please people. And so it's actually a good thing to have that attitude, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Oh,
Yeah. Now, Al Contreras' book about the Mystics, titled Hush-a-Bye, The Mystics, the Music, and the Mob. Can you give us a little teaser from the book that our VCB audience would appreciate so that they'll run out and buy it?
Cheater? I mean, something that wasn't in the book?
Oh, a teaser, a little bit from the book, a little excerpt from the book, a teaser.
It took him 10 years to put that together, actually.
Oh.
He picked our brains through all the years and put these things together. The book would have been a lot thicker if we put down everything we said, but there were things we couldn't put in there, actually.
Right.
At the time, when you say the mob, so there was names we couldn't mention, but it has it all. It says everything about mystics. And even on the internet, there's so much there is today to find out. The only thing that wasn't in the book or on the internet is I was 21 years old and was still singing in the studio, going over the songs, recording in the middle of the night. It was always in the middle of the night, and we're all smoking. And my throat got so rare and raw, I got so disgusted. I took the cigarettes and threw them away, and I haven't touched it since.
Oh, okay.
So that is the only blessing that came out of the things that I can remember that helped me through the years that I quit smoking.
Yes, because your voice is so important in your business, and so got to pamper that and whatever you need to do. And look at you all these years later. You look great.
Oh, thank you.
And your voice.
I guess it's a good. Yeah, it keeps us alive. It keeps us young. Keeps us going.
Yeah.
But, we try to stay in Florida these days and do the shows here. We'll get into that, I guess. But as far as the book goes, if anybody hasn't bought it or read it, maybe they should. They'll find out a lot more about us personally, what we went through, the glory and the not glory, and everything else that went along with it. But it's been a long road, long, happy road.
Yes. I like to read the history of things and, like you said, your journey through this,
Yeah.
through the years. Well, final question. Are there any future shows you'd like our VCB audience to know about in 2025? And before we close, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, well, most of the shows we're doing now are private shows in Florida.
Yes.
There's a couple open to the public. One is Kings Point in Tamarack, Florida. The other one is Mel's Way and in Lake Worth. That's open to the public. And they can go to our website, theoriginalmystics.com, and find out where we're going to be date-wise, and our schedule is there. And they could always see if they're local, if they could come and see us. We'd love to have them. Like I said, I want to stay in Florida because traveling today at our age is a little rough.
Yeah.
You know, we can't depend on the airlines. There's always cancellations and delays. And when we do these multiple act shows out of state, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New York, it's a multiple act show, so we only have 15, 20 minutes. That's 4 or 5 songs. But to get there, you have to stay in the airport and traveling the whole day. That's one day. Second day, you do the show with the sound check and everything else. Third day, you're traveling home. So it's 3 days to do a 15-minute show, 20-minute show. And like I said, traveling today is just terrible. It's just terrible. You can't rely on it. You never know if you're going to get there or home. So I'd rather stay in Florida.
I think you've made a good choice. Understandable, like you said,
Yeah.
the way it
I
is
won't
traveling.
refuse. I can't. I hate to refuse any shows. I like to keep the guys working. If it happens, I think about it, and if I think it's feasible, we will do it. But like I said, Florida is my first choice, and that's where I'm going to stay. I'm promoting it a lot in Florida, and we're doing a lot of shows here, which is great.
And then, like you said, people can go to your website and see. Perhaps that's when they could attend.
Yeah, theoriginalmystics.com. You know, thank God for you people, you guys, you and Rico, to keep this going, keep the music alive, let the people know we're still here, still performing today, and we'd love to see them, love to have them come to the shows and enjoy us.
And we appreciate you, George. So before we let you go, George, we have a couple of gifts that we'd like to give you for doing this interview. So just give me a moment while I put it up on screen. And so I'm putting it up so everyone can see it out in VCB land. And so give me a moment, please. Now, can you see it okay?
Yeah, you can see it.
Yes, I see it fine. That's terrific, but I had dark hair then.
Yeah, you did. Well, it says Billboard. You still look good, George. No worries.
Look good.
Billboard
That's
January
fine.
2025 special honorable mention issue. The Mystics celebrate the 65th anniversary of their mega seller and international and national hit, Hushabye. The verbiage in the black box is what was narrated in the opening slide. So hope you like it, George.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We're not finished with you yet.
Just click once.
We're
find it
going
once.
to show you another
There it is.
award. And to add to your many awards, accolades, and accomplishments over the years, we at VCB would like to present to you our Vinyl City Broadcasting Hall of Fame Award. So can you see it okay, George?
Yes, bless your hearts. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's read it for everyone. It says, Vinyl City Broadcasting Hall of Fame Award, presented to George Galfo, original member of the Mystics, in recognition of your lifelong contribution, artistry, and preservation of doo-wop music. Granted, January 2025. So hope you're happy with it.
Oh, I am. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And after we close, we'll make arrangements to get these gifts mailed out to you. And we'll also stay in touch with you via social media so you can keep us abreast of any new endeavors, shows, or events that you and the Mystics might be engaged in during the year. So thank you
Absolutely.
again.
There you go.
Thank you again.
Well, thank you. It's been an honor to be here with you. And like I said, thank you for keeping up and keeping the people aware that we are still here. After all these years, hushaby to all.
Well, we all try to do our part, and we're glad that we can be a part of it. And, music, good music really makes people happy. So, we have to spread some happiness,
It
right?
does. It
And
does.
joy.
And hopefully we'll see you out here in California one day.
Yeah. Come out to California if you can. Especially
Oh, hopefully
Sandy.
we can. Like I said, it's a long trip.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of people we did shows for out there. And if they want us back, I will contemplate doing it. And just to go on and for the fans, I would do it.
Oh, that's wonderful, George. Well, we appreciate spending this time with you, the interview, and wish you well in your future endeavors.
Thank you. And the time was well spent. I enjoyed it. And I hope you guys did as well.
Oh, thank you. Well, you did good yourself, George.
Here we are, back in our VCB studio. I'm sure you'll agree that the Mystics continue to be a driving force in keeping doo-wop music alive. Just a few additional highlights from the interview that we appreciated. Teenager in Love was initially offered to the Mystics to record, but was given to Dion and the Belmonts. I'm sure it would have been a mega hit also for the Mystics. We were glad to hear the Mystics got compensation for the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow that was used in the hit series The Sopranos. And the Mystics inviting Paul Simon to perform with them when they were short a member. How cool was that? And remember Al Contreras, an original member of the Mystics. He authored a book titled Hushaby, The Mystics, The Music, and the Mob. We've ordered our copy already. Perhaps you will too. One additional point that wasn't discussed in the interview. The Mystics' Hushaby was featured in the movies Stand By Me and Mr. Rock and Roll, the Alan Freed story. We can see this phenomenal doo-wop group has left an indelible mark on the music industry with their soulful harmonies and timeless hits. From their early street corner days to their enduring legacy today, the Mystics have captured the hearts of fans all over the world. With their smooth vocals and an impeccable stage presence, it's no wonder they remain one of the most celebrated and beloved groups in music history. We've hoped you've gained a deeper appreciation for the Mystics and their lasting contribution to the world of music. Anyone in the entertainment industry that views this interview and would like to get in touch with the Mystics for your next event, we will post their contact information on our last slide. Don't forget to go to their website, theoriginalmystics.com, to check out if they'll be performing in a city near you. You can also order autographed pictures, CDs, and obtain their contact information. We hope that all of our subscribers and friends out there enjoyed this interview as much as we did. Bookmark our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our future interviews and shows. We're going to end our show by playing a partial live performance of the Mystics singing their signature song, Hushabye.
You remember it?
Guardian angels up above, take it around the one I love. Pillows lying on your bed, oh my darling, rest your head. Sandman will be coming soon, singing you a slumber tune.
Did you bring along the Yankee Doodles, Rico? George said they go better with milk.